Jory had always cherished her solitude, finding peace in the creaks and whispers of her old isolated house. But peace turned to dread as the nights grew longer, and the house seemed to breathe on its own. One night as the clock struck midnight, an eerie chill swept through the air, sending shivers down her spine. It started with faint whispers, voices she couldn't decipher, emanating from the walls. Jory, heart pounding, tried to dismiss it as her imagination. But then the shadows began to move. She watched in horror as a black, shapeless figure slipped from the corner of her eye. She turned on every light, but the shadows persisted, dancing sinisterly just beyond the reach of the illumination. Suddenly, a loud thud echoed from the attic, freezing her in place. Against her better judgment, she grabbed a flashlight and headed towards the source of the noise. Each step up the creaky wooden stairs felt like a dare to the darkness. As she reached the attic, the door, which she always kept shut, stood ajar. Her breath quickened, and she hesitated only for a moment before pushing it open. The flashlight beam cut through the darkness, revealing old furniture and forgotten memories. Then out of the silence came a slow, deliberate scraping sound. Heart in her throat, Jory swung the flashlight in the direction of the noise, revealing a ghostly figure of a little girl with hollow eyes, silently staring back at her. She stumbled back, dropping the flashlight, plunging the attic into darkness. The scraping grew louder, closer. Jory scrambled for the stairs, but the door slammed shut on its own, trapping her. The whispers returned, now more distinct, hissing words of malice and despair. Panicked, she pounded on the door, but it wouldn't budge. In the pitch black, she felt the icy touch of fingers grazing her arm. A scream tore from her throat as she felt hands pulling her back into the abyss. In a desperate bid for freedom, she found the flashlight and flicked it back on. The room was empty. No girl, no hands. Panting, she turned to open the door, which now creaked open effortlessly. She fled the attic, slamming and locking the door behind her. That night, sleep eluded her, every sound magnified in her terror-filled mind. But as dawn approached, a sense of false security began to soothe her. However, as she lay in the morning light, something caught her eye. Scratched into the wall above her bed were the words, "You are never alone."